Aloha, out here at Firecrest Farms. I just got back from beautiful Kauai, and as you can see, it's very foggy. Due to this, I still don't have much buds, but I had tons of growth. So I want to take this opportunity to do a quick tour, because I'm assuming pretty soon it's going to be different and budding. So I'm a huge grafter. One of the ways I've been able to get over 300 varieties in here is by basically not adding any more pots, and I'm adding a lot of my new plants on top of older plants. So I take a Connie Mayer and I can put a brand new giant empress on top of it, or an Alice Snow White, and I've grafted a honey or a Hellboy on the Cinespinas. So that way I can have multiple varieties on one plant and get away with, there's a Bruni. I've already had 2 Brunis bloom, but neither of them took. I don't know if it was too cold or bad pollen from last year. There's the variegated guys. Here's a couple seedlings I'm excited about, especially this one. This is the same seedlings as this plant. I grafted one onto there last year, and now it's that big. Here is my first Townsend Pink. It bloomed when I was out of town, so I cut it open and self-pollinated it. I missed my only bloom. I'm sure I'll have plenty more later. Here is what looks to be the first set fruit. Thank you, Sasha. That is a Santa Barbara Red. It was pollinated the other day and it seems to have took. Yes. So some of these guys are at least 10 foot tall. Tamarind tree got really dried out, but I gave it a bunch of water. So I took this, what I originally thought was a David Bowie, I think, but it wasn't. And I put new tips on every branch, all the way up there. So it's a brand new plant, and it's full size. And I took one cutting and turned it into a full-size plant. So basically skipped 2 or 3 years. So here's what I'm super excited about. This bloomed yesterday, and that one bloomed about 3 days ago, I'm guessing. I had to cut it open one yesterday when I got home. That's an Assunta 1, I think. It's the first time it's ever bloomed. I've had it for 5 years or so. Hopefully I'll have tons more, because that's all. Not all. It's like I did a whole bunch of Assunta and a bunch up there. So what I'm really trying to do right now is stop all this extra new growth. I just want buds on the full-size plant. Most of these are full-size. Check out this graft. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 tips. Go hydrodreams. And these are all young growth, flat grafts. Not all of them, but mostly these days, that's all I do is I take some young growth. That thing was super sick and yellow for 2 or 3 months, and it's finally starting to turn green. I almost took it off. It was so yellow, I thought it was dead for sure, but it made it. So one of the things grafting does too, if you knock them off or something later, is I kind of call grafting like life support, because it keeps them alive to get them through their hard stage. And if you break them off accidentally or something, or maybe you don't even want to graft it, you want to root it, at that point they're really easy to root. Just pop them in the ground. So I don't need any more growth on this DLS. Come on, I've had it for 6 years. Give me some fruit. It's got 15, 20 branches at least. Going into the skinny part. Definitely running out of room here. We almost got a full canopy up there. This is a Hawaiian yellow that also bloomed while I was in Hawaii. So I cut it open and pollinated it. Hopefully it takes. Buds, buds, buds. Yes. All right, that's y'all. Thank you, y'all. The first buds I've seen since I got home. New ones at least. You can also see the, right back there, Princess of the Night. It budded while I was out of town, and nobody pollinated it, and it looks like it took. So I'm gonna say Princess of the Night does not need other pollen, so pollinator. So much new growth. I need my gloves. I should be wearing gloves. I have so many holes in my fingers. Monkey pod tree. I surprisingly didn't see one. I was in Kauai. My Hawaiian orange and black Africanas that I crossed with each other with both did not take. They dropped off while I was gone. Here's my first tip graft I ever did. That was last year. And I'm not letting it grow any more branches. I want to get some fruit. So, look at that graft. And it all it wants to do is grow new growth, and I want to say no. Here's a Princess Sansa tip graft. Grew a new one, it's already grown another one. I also did this one at the same time, nothing. And this one at the same time, nothing. Here's another tip of the Leo's Best Red seedling from that other plant. These are some of my oldest plants. Dark Star, Sugar Dragon, Mr. Woo. Now, I've also added some Queen D's on top. Whatever you say that one is. I had one little cutting that big. It took me over 2 years to get it to root. Now I've turned it into like 8 plants. Here's my Maria Fucsia that fruited last year. And directly in front of me is the Pacific Ocean. It's super cold air, so I have this all sealed up in a greenhouse. And if it ever gets too hot, which it easily does, if it gets over 60 degrees, all I have to do is open the window. Here, and there's my air conditioner. Alright, finally my last wall. Here's a weird cactus. I grabbed it under the dragon. Here's the chimera. It's been growing like crazy. This doubled since I got back. This pure green is the chimera too. Alright, there is a 10-minute tour of my greenhouse. I've been doing this for about 8 years, 7 years maybe on the dragons. And I figured I was gonna be out of room 3 years ago, but this is what I got, so. Use what you got, make it work. Happy gardening. Cheers, buddies.